I can't let you go pee because I already pressed the record button. Holy shit! Karissa's gonna need a pee bucket. Does anybody have a pee bucket? Karissa's gonna pee on the podcast.
I'm fine. I just thought
Karissa's
maybe
gonna pee on the podcast.
Oh, this is a great start to the podcast
Yes!
episode.
You bitches better not press pause or delete because we're about to get wild.
David decided that we would start the podcast without really being like, hey, right?
Well, you gave me shit the last time being like, yo, Dave, like it's been like fucking 15 minutes and you haven't pressed like the record button. And then, you don't like respond.
I better never give you shit ever again or you'll always bring it up.
It's just my charm. All right, we're going to pause this shit so Karissa can go pee.
No. It's okay. Let's do that.
No, you need to go pee.
I'll be fine. I'm already sitting. The dog's on my lap. I'm good.
Oh.
It's
sure?
really okay. Yeah,
sure?
I'm okay.
Do
you?
Do you? Okay, cool. Yeah.
I'm going to take a hit off of my lovely tobacco pen.
And my tobacco pipe. That I'm about to light my tobacco pipe. Tobacco pipe. It's good.
You said that like a pineapple pen.
I have a pen. I have tobacco. Tobacco pen.
Tobacco pen. I don't know. My mom was like, Karissa, you've been coughing a lot.
It's called being a stoner.
I was like, oh.
Tell her you've been touched by the devil's lettuce. You've been tickled by the devil's lettuce.
She's like, do you have a cold? And I was like, I think I just need to drink more water. Look at that fucking water bottle, dude.
That's a nice... Thank you. I call her Big Boy.
She? Call her Big Boy?
Yes. Listen, it's gay month, you know what? And we might as well just, like, fucking up, you know? Just,
gay
like...
month. Came back again so quickly. I feel like it was just gay month. I really do.
Doesn't gay month sound better than Pride month? I like gay month. Or, like...
Every month. Well,
homosexual
every year.
month. Or the homillion month. Or homo month. What?
A whole month? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. 30 days. Like, we gays get 30 days.
There's only 12 of them.
12 what?
Months, and...
We get a whole month.
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, you know, it's like a full 30 days.
Yeah. People get like murdered at Pride, like down in LA. There's like murders like every single time. It's like crazy. But there's a lot of good shit that happens there. Like there's a lot of really good...
Besides the murder, yeah.
It's just like there's just a lot of people there. And so like it's
bound
inevitable that it'll happen. There's nowhere to park. There's a lot of really good music. And there's usually a lot of really incredible artists, and like everything's free.
A lot of hot guys just wearing short shorts and boots.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah.
You know, and they allow you to smack their tushes, which is
I mean, I don't think you should just be like touching people. But
but you could be like use their like butt as like, you know, a little drum. You'd be like,
what are you talking about? You just these people, they've just consented to this? What people are you talking about?
Well, listen, I mean, like you're a pride parade or whatever, you know, and you're gay and I'm gay and they're gay and we're all gay and we might as well be gay together.
We used to have a pride parade in Iowa.
Oh my god, that's weird as fuck.
When I was a kid, there was a pride parade, and I remember like asking my mom, like, "Hey, mom, like, you know, like there's a parade," and she's like, "Yeah, but we're not gonna go to that parade." I was like, "I don't understand why," and she like didn't really say anything. I was like, "Oh, okay," and that was like that, you know. But like I knew, I was like, man, all those people, like, they look really excited. They're all like really grown up. Like there's no like younger people. Like it's all like adults. They're all really excited and they all have a lot of colors. And they're like excited. They're like pride. I was like, I don't understand like what it is. And it's so funny how like no one would explain to me that like they'd had, you know, that like what it is. I don't know. Just like weird.
Why wouldn't hold up one moment. Why wouldn't somebody explain it to you? You know, that's like that's something that is hard to understand, where if you ask somebody about something, you would expect them to give you a straight answer, you know?
I think my mom didn't want to say anything mean. You know, she doesn't want to like paint things like poorly. She doesn't want to like say bad things about people or like, you know, fill my head up with like bad stuff or whatever. So she just kind of like left it. I think that because like what she probably wanted to say was like, all those people are gonna go to hell, Karissa. You know, like,
I feel
and
you.
so she probably just like kept herself from like saying that and was probably just kind of like, oh, you know, like we're just not gonna go to that parade. And it's like, you know, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything. And then like I think that's probably it's probably good. But I mean like at church they would teach me, you know, like guys and girls are the only people that are supposed to be together, and no guys and guys, no girls and girls, you know, don't be doing that shit.
You know,
They would teach us that
ah,
at church when we were really, really young. They would teach us that. But I never put two and two together until I was much older. Did I ever really realize that like the two concepts are the same thing but from two different perspectives? I didn't realize that we were all talking about the same thing. I didn't realize that like what all those people dressed up for a parade are talking about is the same thing that, you know, my mom and a pastor are talking about. I didn't realize that this was all the same thing because you've got two different people or two different worlds acting very, very, very different about like the same thing. So it was definitely very like mind fuckery. And of course I knew there's nothing wrong. Like I was like, it's fine. You guys are all making a big weird deal out of shit.
well, you know, I grew up in a religious home, so like the whole idea of any type of homosexuality or the conversations of like gay, it's so taboo, it's so forbidden. It's like
Mm-hmm.
something you never want to discuss ever. And it just baffles me now because I was so limited that a lot of what I know is very little. You know, it's like the little bit that I've been exposed to. And I don't know. I felt like if I was exposed to a little bit more when I was growing up, that would have kind of been nice, you know?
I can't really understand like why. I don't know. Like I can't really put my finger on like why the church would go out of their way to like tell me. It almost felt like I feel like nobody would ever like be like, you know, hey, don't be gay, you know, like nowadays or something. But like for some reason, like I felt like I like heard it like a lot. Like people like went like out of their way to tell me as I was a kid, almost like they knew, you know, like I'm just like, what the fuck, man, you know. But I don't feel like anybody would be telling you not to be gay if they were like sure that you weren't.
They just kind of like wanted to prep you of like what is going to happen to you in a few years,
I
you
don't
know?
know. No, it was like they could like tell. I feel like people were always kind of like, hey, you know, you'd be screwing around, you'd be going to hell.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like, what
heard a
the
lot.
hell? Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like, but
I'm
I
like,
feel like people told me like more than usual. I'm like, why are we even talking about that? Like, why is that on your mind? You know, like, do you ever like people say stuff to you and you're like, what made you think of that? Like, what was the thought that you had right before that?
I don't
Like,
think
I'm
I
like,
want
what
to
made
know.
you
I
say
don't want to
that?
know. No, no, no. I don't like, I honestly, I don't want to know what they were thinking before, because like I
I'm
feel
curious. I'm like, what made you think that you needed to talk to me about going to hell? Mm.
and like, why go to that level of like telling me that my soul is going to like literally suffer because of something that I like, you
I
know?
think that if you
I
need to
like
tell
my own
children,
gender.
yeah, if you need
Like,
to
I
tell
like men.
kids, you need to tell kids like that badly. Like, it kind of points out that like it's almost kind of natural. Like, why are the kids like? Why do you need to tell the kids so much? Like, there'd be no reason for you to tell them so much not to be gay if it wasn't like natural kind of. I think everybody like kind of experiments, like plays around. Maybe not everybody, but like I don't know, like I think it's kind of like normal.
Well, it's also weird. It's also the fact that
My dog
we,
wants out of the room.
we've kind of gone the complete different opposite direction. We're now almost, it's as if you have, how do I put this lightly? Okay. How do I put this very lightly? We have a school system where we teach kids how to be gay at a very young age. You know, we want to make sure that all of our kids are gay.
I don't agree with that. I don't think that we have
No, I don't agree with that at all. I feel like it's important that kids do have an understanding of like safe sex and understanding of
No, I'm saying
sexuality and
that I
things.
don't think that that is what the experience of school is like. I don't think everybody's getting that. Like what
I'm
you
not
just
saying that, but I'm just saying as a whole, it's something to keep in mind where we were raised with the attitude of being gay is bad.
Yeah,
Now, gay is
definitely.
being good, but it's like everybody has to be gay.
What do you mean everybody has to be gay? Who said that?
Well, whenever, for example, a girl decides to be more of a tomboy, doesn't necessarily mean she's a lesbian. She could be
Yeah.
straight as hell.
Yeah, it is kind of annoying.
You know, and you can have, there are cases where you have guys that you're like, you're a dude? And then you find out like 10 years later that they're trans. I've had that happen. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't look
I
like a
mean,
dude.
there's guys that were like super fucking straight, like no hint of gay,
None.
and then now they're trans.
They're guys that look like they're fucking football players and haven't showered in weeks. And they're gayer than me. Like, they're gay. Okay, girl, they're Swifties. That's how gay.
Gay.
Because straight guys can also listen to Taylor Swift. But I'm talking about a very specific type of.
I love that they're like gay. Are
They're
you just
gay.
Are you one gay? Are you a singular gay?
No. They're gay. Like, it's gay
And
plus
you're
gay
just
equals
gay?
gay. Hmm?
You're just one level of gay.
Yeah. Like, there's gay, and then there's gay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Triple deep in the gay.
Yeah. It's like, hi, sisters.
I don't even get one full gay for myself.
Get a half a gay.
I think so. Or maybe like a quarter gay.
No, I'd give you a half. I think you
Yeah.
deserve to. I think you deserve to get that half.
I'm pretty good at being straight. You know?
Yeah, but like the thing about bisexuality is that like people have this weird thing that it's like it's not gay. You know, it's just somebody that can explore both genders. But let's be real. People that are bisexual are different. They're not.
Absolutely.
They're not like your typical straight person. They're just
I
not.
always want to claim not being completely straight because I know that I've gone through like a lot of like the mental and like emotional stuff.
You're definitely bi. We've talked about this before.
But I also think that like being kind of bi or being kind of gay, it doesn't make me any less like of a straight partner. Like I feel like I'm still like just as good of a like girlfriend, and I can still like please a man just as much as I could please a woman. Like I don't think that it makes me like less of like a
No,
woman.
it doesn't. It doesn't. In many ways, that's like kind of the idea, right? It's being able to see it for what it is and not what it isn't. Like, for example, for myself, like I say I'm gay, but I'm very much an asexual romantic.
Yeah, it's true.
right? So there's that like end of the sword as well, where you don't necessarily need to classify yourself.
Yeah, it's true. We don't need to pick groups. Freaking
Nope.
annoying. I don't know. Dude, my
Or we could
mom was
just,
like, huh?
oh my God, we're getting another mom story. Yes,
Yeah, she's
please.
like heartbroken today by the Trump news.
Oh no, what happened with Trump?
Oh, I think that they they like declared him guilty or some shit. Sounds bad for
Which
Trump.
means,
I don't know what it means, dude, but it's like they did what they've been trying to do. They like did it. A lot of Democrats are really excited. They're like, "Oh yeah, motherfucker." That's what I see a lot of.
I mean, to be frank, if Joe Biden is still alive by the time of next year, I want Arnold Schwarzenegger to reveal himself as the Terminator, because he is. Okay? He is the Terminator.
What does this
End
have
of
to do with
discussion.
anything?
This is not a conspiracy theory.
What
What?
do you mean? Like the actual Terminator? Like
Yes, and he's
it was
working in
a
cahoots
origin
with the US.
story?
Yes, he's working in cahoots with the US government and part of the Illuminati and the KKK. They're all working together to destroy us all. Do I sound crazy enough yet?
chopper.
Do I sound crazy enough yet?
I think that
That's my goal.
you just kind of left out those like supernatural like spirit thingies. You know what I'm talking about? Like they're like that's like what the grand conspiracy right now. I thought maybe you'd know what I was talking about, but like I think like if you're gonna like throw out like the craziest like thing, I feel like it would be missing. That's the best conspiracy that I've heard recently is this kind of like spiritual like entities that have like power over things, and that is
Yeah.
actually what is what's happening, and that
We
those things have power over things. And
we have a lot of time on our hands, and the reality is
I
that
love that story. I think it's really fun. It is more fun because it's supernatural.
no, honestly, this is
It's like
too
if there was a
because
vampire ring, and the vampires were in charge of the mafia. And I'm sorry, you talk for a minute.
no. I was trying to get to a point of where try to think of it as we're at a point where we have more time at our hands than we've ever had before. So we're bored as fuck
Mm-hmm.
and kind of have gone into this mental craze of just trying to come up and figure out with every little possibility, and then taking what other people's garbage and lies and bullshit and stupidity and then using that as your base and storyline. So you don't have to put any time or energy or research. You just go based on that, and that is your life. And it's like, here's the deal. The United States is a great country to live in. We are very fucked. It's very simple. As a gay community, I personally feel we should be really sad where we are right now because the amount of bullshit and stupidity and insanity is not normal. I mean, I don't even want to get started with the dating situation. It's fucking insane. It's like, how did we
Pe-
get here? How the
People
hell
can
did we
just
get here?
people being who they are, people being what they want to be.
Well, no, no.
Honestly, like I'm not really sure what's wrong with like people and their accountability. And yeah, there's a lot of people not brought up right. Creates a lot of shitty people in the dating pool, is my opinion.
I think it's also just a lack of realizing what we have, and honestly, what we don't need to have. You don't need to create narratives. You don't need to create labels. You need to just let people be people. You know what I've realized the most is, for me personally, is to create a relationship that's a friendship. No
Well,
boyfriend,
yeah.
no
No, it's really, really
partner.
important.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think is the worst part about the dating scene right now?
It's very specific. We're to the point where everybody has their specific wants and needs and types, to what type of boyfriend, how you are in a relationship, what type of relationship you are, how you're supposed to be in a relationship. It's so fucking complicated. It's like, girls, please just fucking sit down. Why? Why does it have to be this complicated? You know what? Straight people are fucking complicated as hell as it is. You know what? I just feel like it shouldn't be this difficult. It really isn't. It really shouldn't.
I feel like in a community or just in a society, just our culture, and I'm not
Uh,
talking about gay culture, I'm talking about American culture, when homosexuality is, or for us, when we were raised, it was treated as wrong. We were taught that it was wrong. We were brought up that it was wrong. In that type of environment, I think that it creates a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, a lot of like just like not feeling comfortable, not a lot of confidence, like different things like that. I think stuff like that can create a lot of drug use, a lot of codependency, a lot of
issues,
alcoholism, a lot of
toxicity.
emotional imbalances. Like, and I'm just saying, like, that same kind of thing happens in a million different scenarios. Like, I see teenage girls going through, identity crises about the shapes of their bodies and stuff for similar
Yeah,
reasons
because of
because
all
their
of the filters and
environments.
things. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it's the same kind of thing. It's like a person growing in their environment, not growing in the way that the environment is telling them that they are supposed to be. And it takes a lot of support from like a family member or like something. I don't know. It takes something to be able to like resist like some type of crutchy situation. Or, like I think it's really easy to, just end up like crying a lot or get really angry a lot or like, just like, or hit the bottle a lot. Like, I think it can happen, you know?
Yeah.
But I also think that that's part of the reason that they're experiencing all those things on the inside anyways. Like we talked about Venus extravaganza. I feel like Venus had a lot going on inside, and that's part of the reason why Venus moved in the direction that Venus moved in general. Like that person wouldn't have been there if they didn't have all of that happening already. Like it was the tornado inside that pushed against the environment that created a that led towards a different environment. I think that
Oh, for sure.
it's really important for people to go when they're in that situation. I think that like go explore if you can. If you're like in a small little town, or if your parents, or like you really need to go like explore, but like try to be safe, try to use the buddy
Yeah.
system. Like if you like honestly, like think if like maybe Venus had like a close friend and was like, tonight I'm going and I'm gonna be sleeping with this person, and they just told each other, like, okay, well tonight I'm going, I'm gonna be, at least like one other person might know like where you are that night. Like anything, just like try and have people in your life, just like try to be safe, I guess is what I'm saying. But I think try to explore is my, you
There's
know
always there's
definitely look
always gonna
around.
There's always going to be those people that will understand you. I promise you that.
Mhm.
There always will be those people that can understand you. And the thing is that as much as you are traumatized and have had bad experiences, there are people that can relate and understand where you're coming from. And I think that the one thing that like I can especially learn, because I have a very close friend of mine that's androgynous. And to me, my experience with that person has personally shown me that there is another side to how you look at things, where getting your mind out of a box and just being able to represent yourself the best way you can. You don't need to hide yourself. You don't need to be afraid. Because the thing is that fear is sometimes what will kill you. It really
Yeah,
is.
it eats people up.
Yes, it does.
I feel like, yeah, just, like, be the weirdo that you are, like, I don't know, I dress weird. Like, I dress weird, like, a lot, and it's like, I'm so fucking tired of people's judgment, like, yeah, these pants have flowers all over them, and this shirt is plaid, like, who cares? Like, it's
I'm
like,
Billy Bob Brown
maybe I look homeless, but you look like everyone else.
in your pink little dress.
No, it's like, jeans and a t-shirt. I don't know, I like jeans and t-shirt
I
too,
can't
but it's
picture you in
like,
flannel though. Jesus, you would look like one of those blonde lesbians out in the Midwest, on like a wild horse.
hell yeah, I have on a flannel today. I
Yeah,
have
got
a
like a
big
cowboy hat.
No, I have, like, a big Carhartt type flannel that's, like, really warm. It has, like, snaps up the front. I like it a lot. Kinda reminds me of, like, you ever, like, ride a horse?
I have. It's not the most comfortable thing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't mind it.
It's kind of like my legs are all spread out, and I'm like, I want them to go back.
Oh, I don't mind them, like, apart, because 'cause I'm riding the horse. I mean, I gotta stay on it. I don't know. I remember, like, when we were
They're
kids,
kind of
they had
heavy
us
too.
but, like, my jacket reminds me of, like, a saddle. There's, like, a underneath it, there's, like, usually, like, a wool or, like, a
A
sherpa.
shirt blanket, yeah.
Yeah, the blanket, and, like, that's kinda, like, what my flannel is like. It just reminds me of that, and I remember, like, always thinking, like, that's the best part for the horse is, like, that little, like, squishy part in between.
It's so weird. Like you're riding an
I
animal.
don't know. It's, like, more natural.
In a way, yeah. I mean, it doesn't take gas. It takes hay. It does shit. You have to clean it up after it. But besides that,
Animals have been abused a lot by human beings.
oh, for sure. And it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting, like because I feel like, especially when you're traumatized as hell, when you have an animal, it's just another level.
I think
Like
specifically horses. Horses have been, like, really, really abused by people.
they've been made into glue too.
Hmm.
I don't know if you know that.
My mind goes to, like, war. I feel like horses were abused a lot in, like, human wars.
But yeah, they die in a lot of those wars.
Yeah, or they're just, like, left, like, mangled, half alive.
It is a war, after all.
Mhm.
I mean, they did kind of realize that the horses weren't really needed anymore in wars eventually. Because like the first modern war was World War II.
I think they killed a lot of horses in World War II.
They did because the Polacks thought it was a great idea to still use horses, but the Germans realized that they can just come in there with machine tanks.
I feel so bad for him because I know, like, they're such complex animals, like, mentally, and, like, there's just a lot there. It's
They
just,
feel
like,
things that
crazy.
we don't feel.
Yeah, they're
They
very, like, aware.
too aware almost, but they're beautiful. There's something
They're really,
about a
really cool
horse.
creatures,
They
yeah.
really are.
They're
just an
unique, majestic, yeah.
and they're huge. You know, like a lot of them are really big. They're big. Speaking of big, do you want to keep on going?
Speaking of big,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good episode. I feel like,
Do you think it's gay enough?
uh,
Do you think the faggots approve?
oh, I feel like we wanted to talk about Pride a little bit. And so I talked about Pride in LA a little bit. And
And the men with the big asses wearing the shorts and the boots.
what are your plans for Pride for this year?
Nothing.
You're not going to do anything? You're not going to go to anything?
Too stressed out and focused on my living situation.
Right? Focusing on your fucking self. Like, you should. God, people. Like, how has anybody got enough time to, like, throw a big Pride petition right now? Like, but I think that's all part of the government's plan, too, is to, like, stress us out and deplete us so much that we don't have any energy to, like, fight for our own rights or anything.
Maybe. You're probably right. Karissa's usually right. And when she is, I say, goddamn. Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm good at coming up with scenarios about how, like, the government, like, abuses us.
Well, the same way that Joe Biden is probably going to be...
fault.
Probably going to be like Joe Biden's going to be like the next president, even though he's not alive. Like, they'll probably just, like, have the interview at his grave and be like, Joe, what do you think of your opinion? Like, they just put the mic at the gravestone and, like, that's our president for 4 years. It's just dead dude in the ground.
I don't know that it really matters.
It doesn't matter at all, but it's kind of hilarious because that I know that's, like, so far-fetched, but that could... Come on, like, in a hypothetical scenario, that would be really hilarious if that happened.
I don't get it. Like, it's like, okay, so if people still vote for Trump, well, let's say Trump, like, wins. Let's say that there's, like, enough votes for him that he were to win. Then everybody's elected somebody who's not able to be president because I think that, like, they, like, accused him of, like, whatever and, like, made him guilty today. So, like, I think he's not allowed to be president. So then I think, like, you know, it would, like, automatically go to, like, whoever his vice is, or, you know, it would have to, like, go to someone else, or I'm just saying that, like, just because you vote for him doesn't, like, I don't think that there's any rules where he could just be, like, pushed in. I'm sure a lot of people are talking about a lot of, like, different scenarios, but, like, since I don't really care either way, like, if I had things my way, neither one of them would be president. So I would really be trying to figure out how to get rid of either one of them in general. But right now, they're all trying to figure out how to get rid of him. The gay way.
The gay way would be sashay away.
Champagne and strawberries and, like, just like, come on.
Girl, it is your time to leave the building. Take your purse, take your things, and sashay away. I mean, they're two grown-ass men, so, I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to sashay away. You know, you might need, like, Tyrone and Enrique, you know, the tough security guards. Get out these
I just don't believe anything that I see. Like, I'm just like, sure, like, this is, like, the way that they presented it. Like, I don't know what is actually going on and what, you know, behind all the closed doors. Like, it's all just, like, a bunch of facade bullshit. Like, you know, all the weird spirits, you know, the entities or whatever they are, they're the ones.
Power.
Controlling the Illuminati that controlled the thing today. Yeah, the ghosts. Yeah. They put Trump in jail.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. We'll see what happens. But on any news, have fun. Make sure to use protection, as always. And you want to find
Herpes
Karissa?
Doesn't go away.
Yeah. Find her on... I know. Prep.
Be careful.
Look out for prep. You can find Karissa on Instagram at American Groove Pod, and you can find the podcast at Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I never post her anyway. At Lost in the Groove Pod. With that, we love you. Love all you gay ass motherfuckers. And we'll catch you on the next something. I don't know.
Bye.
I don't come up with this shit. All right, bye, fucking.
Thank you.
There's a cucksuckers. Yeah.